Dr. Phil is a man of kindness and compassion, so soft-spoken yet very passionate about life issues. He appeared on The View for an interview, and everyone feared that the women on The View would chew him up. However, it was refreshing to see him tell those women something they probably hadn't heard before, along with the audience. The conversation started with Dr. Phil's recent career dive. After many years of hosting his talk show, Dr. Phil had decided it was time to end it.
So last year, you aired the final episode of the Dr. Phil Show after 21 seasons.
Dr. Phil gained a loyal following over the years as he gave out relationship, family, addiction, and sexual advice to people in the 4,000 episodes aired. Naturally, the first question people ask is why he decided to end his show. In an interview with Kevin Frazier, Dr. Phil said a few things to answer the question on many people's minds.
And I love it. I'm still very passionate about it. And make no mistake, I'm not moving on from television. I'm just moving on from daytime.
One of the reasons Dr. Phil points out about ending his show is because he wants to move from daytime to primetime. He explains that he wants to start focusing more on his active audience instead of having his show recorded and seen passively. Dr. Phil also feels that there is a problem in America.
I wanted a bigger audience, a bigger play, a bigger platform than daytime can afford. And so I've been working on that, and I'm going to be revealing that soon.
Dr. Phil explained that he wanted to go back to TV in January 2024. He dispels all the rumors about wanting to change his career.
And you say January 24, because there is also speculation out there. People are like, is he running for office? Is he going to do something like that?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Back on The View, Dr. Phil is asked this question.
So what have you missed the most about being on during daytime?
Dr. Phil explains that it's not about what he has missed, but what he plans to do. He states that he's excited about what the future holds for him and his audience, knowing that they will have the best advantage at prime time.
You guys are such a part of America's fabric that you get taped and people watch you when they get home, and I think they did with us as well.
Dr. Phil stays respectful, pointing out the disadvantages of being in the daytime. He talks about how during the day, most people are at work or in school, so the chances that his message will have any real effects on people are significantly low. He then adds that he is quite excited about the change.
But I'm excited to address men and kids that have been in school. And also, it's fun to go on late at night. I mean, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
The group shares a lighthearted moment as they celebrate Dr. Phil's career change and his intentions to interact with his audience in a better way. But then they take the first jab at Phil.
So when you beat yourself in another project, does it count as a loss?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
That's a high-level problem.
Yeah, that's a high-class problem, so that'll be okay.
Dr. Phil shows that despite being asked such a strange question, he can remain respectful and take it as a joke, instead of engaging in a personal goals debate. The interview then takes another direction, as Dr. Phil is asked about his wife Robin's comments on sexual intimacy.
I'd love to hear what you made of our last topic about basically no more intimacy or sex in a relationship. Can you get past that?
Dr. Phil asks for more information regarding the issue and then shares what he thinks about it.
That's a symptom, not the problem. Somebody's like hugely pissed about something. That's a symptom, not the problem, right?
Here we see why Dr. Phil is so popular as he drops some nuggets of wisdom regarding this issue. He says that if someone is not being intimate with their partner for a long period of time, then there are underlying issues that need to be fixed. Goldberg adds something to that regard.
It's a statement.
It is.
It's a statement. Yeah. I'm not giving you any. It's all locked up. You're never going to see it again.
Yeah.
And you can't go out and do anything, which of course is going to make him go out and do something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil believes that changing matters of intimacy in a relationship is like having a bait and switch situation.
So,
kind of a bait and switch, because you kind of have a deal going in, and then, all right, I'm going to change it, but you can't.
Yeah.
So that's an uphill battle. I mean,
The discussion then shifts to Dr. Phil's new interest and why he's so passionate about them.
April, you're launching an entire news and entertainment cable TV network called Merritt Street Media. Now, you've built all new studios on a 5-acre campus in Texas.
Dr. Phil explains that his media will have the news aspect of things. He says that they'll be airing the news as it happens and let people decide whether they want to view it as a positive or negative. Dr. Phil claims that the news channel will not be doing spins, just delivering information on what has happened. In his new show, Dr. Phil Primetime, he is excited about dealing with real people with real issues and offering real solutions. Dr. Phil is asked a question regarding his experience with border control. This is part of the news segment he wants to air and talk about in his show. He intends to report what he had learned and how that could be part of the problems affecting the country. Dr. Phil shares one of the things that he learned. He then shares that there is a great issue in that area. Here, one of the panelists interjects, asking whether it is all children who have this happening to them. At this moment, it appears that the panel has not done enough research about this issue because they would have the answer to that question already. Dr. Phil explains what happens when a child shows up at the border with a number. Border Patrol calls the number and asks if the person on the other end will receive the child. When asked why they were not investigating the issue, Border Patrol said that they were so busy processing the kids that they lacked the resources to deal with the issue. The conversation then goes to Dr. Phil's new book, We Got Issues. Dr. Phil explains this statement by sharing the high levels of depression, loneliness, and suicidality that stemmed from the rise of social media. To make matters worse, Dr. Phil states that the agencies that knew what was happening to the children are the same agencies that failed to protect them during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to Dr. Phil, the school is part of the support system kids have as it protects some of them from facing dangers at home. At this point, all the women started talking about how they were saving their children from the pandemic. Dr. Phil has had enough of this, and he makes that clear. Sadly, the show ends without further discussion on the topic, but Dr. Phil has raised some great points and ensured that the hosts of The View do not get to bring their opinions on factually based matters. Do you agree with Dr. Phil's views on the negative effects of COVID-19 on children? If you thought this was entertaining, check out Bill Maher's trashing wokeness on The View in this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.